evening, everyone. Uh-oh. I guess it doesn't work on intermission here. That's okay. It works on the other one, so it's okay. But good evening. Hi, guys. Hi, third person over on YouTube. Flaffy saying, hate tax season, getting the endless tax filing service ads. Yeah, I feel that in, like, the political ads, because unfortunately I live in a red state. Super fun to see that. Pack saying, dang, Twitch ain't letting me say hi. Hi, there we go. Ads! Yep, right as soon as I come in there. Reminder, if you guys get hit by ads, now is a good time to hit the restroom, grab a snack, and do a little stretch. So yeah. Yeah, I think you're actually close to me, Flaff. Hi! How are you? I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't been on the game in a while, that's true, on that one too. But how are you? I've been busy with other things than playing that Resident Evil game. I'm also waiting for a real Resident Evil game to come out, like, next week. So, I don't know if I'll be streaming next Sunday, guys. This Sunday, yes, but next Sunday, I don't know. It really depends on how Resident Evil weekend goes. I'm gonna be so annoying about it. I'm gonna be so annoying. Hi, Angel, over on YouTube. Pax is back. Hello, everyone. Now it's good to see everybody. Just kind of, I guess, resting a little bit. I'm tired. Like, I had, like, a lot of things I had to do before I could start the stream. I luckily got them done, but Resident Evil on which platform? I don't I'm at that point where I'm like, I don't know if I should admit this. I have, like, almost all the Resident Evils on, like, every single platform because I can't help myself. I haven't bought multiple copies of 9 yet. I wait until generally they start getting cheaper for me to buy multiple copies. I'm playing it on PlayStation 5 because Resident Evil 9 comes out. Playing that on PlayStation 5 first. However, Amazon is holding my copy hostage, so I guess I'm buying 2 copies because I want that steel case, so help me. So I'm not happy about that. And then eventually I'll get on PC and I'll probably play it in a stream. Yeah! I know exactly who you are, Sweet. I just wasn't sure if you wanted me to call you Sweet or Aunt-Mam or anything else. But yeah, no, that's why I haven't been on the, I haven't been on the mobile app game. I've just been so busy with other things. Flaffy says, me with my Digimon games, third person. Oh. Sweet says, I can't wait till I need to get Draco to get it so I can play it too. I'm trying to get Resident Evil on my Switch. I have the original. Ooh, very nice. Some of the games run pretty decent on the Switch. They run better on the Switch too, but I still don't think that's, like, worth buying a Switch 2 as somebody who owns a Switch 2. Don't listen to, like, don't do as I do, right? But yeah, darn it, Amazon. I'm really not happy about that because I really want that steel case. And I know if I don't get that steel case, people are going to jack up the price more than it already is, so. Sweet is fine. You can call me Sweet. Will do, Sweet. Alrighty. So today we're just working on the... Oh, is it off? It is just not working. Rude. I had this fixed earlier. Hold on. Why is it doing that? Hello? It just unconnected. Okay, give me a sec. I had this working beforehand. I just thought it was being silly on one of the pages. Ooh, if I'm gonna have to restart. Nope, there it is. It was just being temperamental. I was about to fight. Alrighty, let's see. Angel over on YouTube says, I need to play the new Resident Evil game so badly. Yeah, me too. I'm trying to avoid all the spoilers, and the worst part is people already have their hands on the physical copy of the game right now. Don't know how, but they do. So now I'm avoiding all social media for pretty much the next week and a half. So, like, please don't come in here and tell me anything about it. I'm not saying you guys would, but this is just kind of my, please don't. That sucks. That sucks that people got it early. I should have gotten it early. No, that's just me wanting it really bad. Sweet says, I am buying the Switch too, because I heard we do one small thing wrong and they blocked your system or whatever. Yeah, they can. Usually what that is people have a Switch cartridge that will, like, kind of give them multiple games or let them kind of cheat on games. And if they connect to the Wi-Fi, there is something in the Switch 2 that will sense that, and then it will ban you. Because a lot of people were using this stuff for, like, Animal Crossing and Mario Kart, I believe. Fluffy says, bruh, I bought the Switch OLED and 2 years later the Switch 2 comes out and I'm annoyed. Yeah, I was there when the OLED came out at GameStop. I worked at GameStop during that time, and $11 an hour as an assistant manager. It sucked. And we sold the OLED. I remember I got, like, one of the first OLEDs. It was nice because it was an upgrade from, I had a Switch Lite at the time. So I was like, oh, that's nice. And then, like, not even a year, it was like half a year later, they're like, here's the Zelda OLED. And I was like, God dang it. So I went and bought that one and traded in the regular OLED. Mainly it paid off most of it. And then they're like, Switch 2. And I was like, oh, I don't need it. And they're like, Animal Crossing and, like, Pokemon and all that. And I was like, dang it. And then now it's just sitting there. I'm not touching it. I'm like, ugh, wasting it. It's very annoying. They might be beta testers. I don't know. No, I pre-ordered it and I didn't get a copy. No one should be getting copies early. I'm surprised that they would have beta testers playing it this close to release. I don't know. I think what happened is these are people that work for Amazon. And again, this is just me. It's an allegation from me. It is not a truth, hard, anything. It is just I'm not accusing anyone. It's a theory. I think some people at Amazon kind of just went and, like, picked up their copies if they worked at Amazon and they took them home. Because there's a shortage at Amazon. I'm not saying they stole them. I'm saying that they went and reserved their own copy and they just happened to take their copy home. Probably not supposed to, but, you know. That's my theory, because I know people at GameStop would do that. I didn't do it. I abided by all the rules and everything, and I'm not just saying that for a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, because we had, like, cameras checked in my section, but some GameStop people would do that. Fluffy says, it's alright, I hate the capitalist nature of just buying a new system every 2 years. I absolutely agree with that. I say as I fall victim to it. Angel says, they're just trolling at this point, I swear. Yeah. Amazon worker might steal it. Sweet says, I'll do it for you. Yeah, I know. I can't bring myself to do that stuff. I pretty much abided by, like, all the rules that we had when we worked at GameStop. But God, the temptation was always there when Resident Evil came in. All the other games, I'm like, that's fine, I could wait. No, Resident Evil's, like, put the IV in. Hi, Shax. How are you? Okay, let's get some drawing done. So, I had sent the last piece we did, because you remember I was fighting the fire escape last time. I sent this piece in to my friend Brooke. They were the ones that worked on the really gorgeous Halloween art that we did for group collage with me and like a bunch of other creators. And I was just simply asking her, like, hey, do you have any tips or advice? Because she does like wonderful backgrounds for a handful of people, including like Spindlehorse. And I was like, hey, do you have any like, tips or something of like how I can, just kind of adjust this and make it better? And God, I love her. I love her so much. She goes and she redlines it for me. And I was like, that was not what I was asking, but you're so awesome. So like, yay! So yeah, now we can actually like outline things. We won't be able to get this background done because this background's still being concepted down here. But that means we can get to the characters and start drawing them sooner. I'm not saying tonight, but like, yippee. Let's see. Shaq says, I'm doing good. I'm finally dating. Oh, that's right. You had that date. I'm glad it went well. Congrats. And just in time for Valentine's too. That's awesome. Let's hear it up for Shax. Everybody applaud. Let's go Shax. Flappy says, Sweet says congrats, and Pack says yay. Sweet says creativity within creativity. Yeah. Angel, oh, that's so sweet of her. Yeah, no, Brooke is very, very, very awesome. A lot of my art friends are like, there's been multiple times that I'll, just kind of be like, hey, can I have some tips or advice? And then like I get red lines back from them, and that's like so exciting for me. I know as a kid I would have hated it because I would have been like, no, my art is good. But now it's like, oh cool, I can learn from it. I was close. I can see how close I was and go from there. And that's kind of the fun part about art, is getting to still learn. Shaq says, thank you. Yeah, no worries. Congrats. So, what is everyone up to tonight? We working on stuff? We just kind of lounging around? Look, you guys gotta help me and like continue the conversation, because otherwise I will just keep talking about Resident Evil, and I don't want to do that to anybody. Sweet says you can build on, and learning something new every day is a plus. Yeah, that's one of the many reasons I really, really love art. Is it's a tough process. I've grown a lot. I've learned a lot. I've failed a lot. And you just gotta kind of pick yourself up and keep going. And it's tough, but like the stings get a little less and less each time, So it's like, it's really, really, really nice. Sweet says, making dinner after a long day. Ooh, what are we having tonight? I had a burger from Whataburger. It was pretty good. I wish I had cooked a meal, but I don't have time for that today. Flappy says, I've been wanting to draw forever, and I'm gonna throw myself off the bed. Well, be careful. Yeah, no, art block is really tough. Like, I had a really bad art block 2 years ago, and it was so bad, like, I got into the Yakuza games, and I was only playing like Yakuza, like, because I had always seen those games, and I was like, these games don't seem like they're for me, and I was like, they don't seem like they're for me. I'm not gonna play them. And even working at GameStop, I was like, I don't know what this is about, but okay. And PlayStation was like, hey, we have all these games for free, all of the Yakuza games you can play. And I was like, oh, sweet, cool. I can actually like see what these games are about. And then I was like, nah, actually, I don't want to. Like, I still don't think I'm gonna vibe with it. And there was, because I was thinking it was like a super serious, because like I had played some of like the Mafia and Godfather games, and those were not fun for me. And I thought this was going to be a little bit more like that. So I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to play a Mafia game. And then I was looking around and I saw Yakuza 0. And I was like, and it had screenshots. And it was like all these neon sign colors and everything. Because it takes place in Kamurocho. And Kamurocho has like beautiful, beautiful lighting. And like city stuff. And I was like, hey, you know what? I can at least download this game. It's free. It's not like I spent any money on it. And I can just go walking around and studying like how the neon signs are, kind of studying like the buildings, and I can study it for thought. Yeah, that's a good idea. I went down a rabbit hole that I cannot climb out of. Like, I started, like, the beginning of the year, I had a really bad art block, and I've started at 0. I played all the way through 6 and Like a Dragon. And then they released, Like a Dragon New Wealth. And then the Majima one. And then they're like, oh, here's Kiwami 3 now. I ruined myself. I ruined myself with this game. And I love this game. It has some problems to it, but it has a lot of heart to it, too. I cried so many times in this game. Like, whoo! So, like, sometimes you just, like... But it was good that I did it, because, like, I got to see these silly antics, I got to see these serious moments in a game, and I was taking notes for thought. I was looking at the city, I was taking notes on the fighting, I was taking notes on, like, character development, how these characters are interacting with each other. So sometimes you just need to climb into a different rabbit hole, like, look at something else. And I know it can, like, be scary, and, like, I know as a creator, if we're looking at the business side of creator, I don't want to be encouraging you guys to go look in a different rabbit hole for encouragement, because I want you guys to be here to, like, as an artist, I am telling you, sometimes it's good just to go, like, pick up a book, go watch something that you probably wouldn't have watched before. And if it's bad, then you go, well, I know what not to do. And if it's good, then you got something out of it. Like, you had a good time. So, like, sometimes you just gotta, like, take a breather from art. You just gotta go somewhere else. And that could be, like, in a different world. That can just be an also change of pace. Like, just start going outside more. And this is coming from somebody to where the sun hates me. I say that because, like, I'll stand outside and I'll get, like, burned within 15 minutes. So, yeah. Sorry, that was my tangent. Let's see. Pack says, nothing, just writing scenarios for Teehee Psycho. Oh, Isaac. I haven't been in the mood to draw in a very long time. Yeah. Sweet says, you can look back at your old drawings and see what you can change different and maybe add it to your new sketches. Maybe there's an idea. Absolutely. Flaffy continues on the, my bed is literally a mattress on the floor. Oh yeah, I remember you having done that. I don't remember if I missed it or not. I have a waterbed, so, like, having a waterbed now on the floor would not be a good idea. You have to have it in a casing, but it's so bad. It's, like, so big. Angel says, I'm working on webcomics right now and editing scripts. Let's go. Also says, I might not stay very long because I need to edit things with Cassie, my producer. But yeah, I'll be active on the Discord though. Hey, no worries, Angel. Always appreciate you coming by. Lynn saying, I've been meaning to ask, how do I join the Discord? Okay, so I had reshared the link on Twitter, like you said, and it was expired. I had somebody bring that up to me. If you go back on the Twitter, the latest post I have on there for Discord is a current link. So you can use that one to get in, and if not, you can use the one on Blue Sky. Flaffy over here, you have a waterbed? I thought those were left in the 70s. Sweet, bullying me. Were you in the 90s? Okay. Yes. 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 Okay. But like, okay, so when I was a kid, my parents had a waterbed. Yeah, I'm like in my late 30s. So anyways, I was a kid and my parents had a waterbed. And it was the warmest and comfiest thing I had ever slept on. And as a kid, I slept on a mattress, whatever. And I grew up like most of my life sleeping on a mattress. And one of my mattresses, in the middle of the night, the spring snapped and it slashed my back. Like it cut through the bed and it slashed my back. So I don't like spring beds. And I have my water bed, but like it's always cool in the summer, it's always warm in the winter. Like I don't need to change anything. It is very, very comfy and like it aligns my back for the most part. The toughest part is on my neck, but my back is generally feels good. You got a memory foam bed? Memory foam beds get really, really hot for me. So I'm not a huge fan of those. Like I get really, really hot sleeping on those. I know they have the ones where have all the jets and all that, but like it's honestly cheaper to get a waterbed for me. I got one like on Craigslist from this old dude, and the nice thing is if the bed pops, you just go buy a new one. And I did have the bed pop. It was just an old mattress I got from this dude. It did pop, but because again, I bought mainly the big bed frame, and it's a huge old bed frame. But the bed did pop, and like my whole upstairs was soaked. And luckily I had found, it because I had to go to bed. And ran fans and everything before anything could happen. But yeah, I like my waterbed. But yeah, I always get the comment of like, that was left in the 70s and 80s. And I'm like, leave me alone, okay? Like, I am all about nostalgia. What happened there? I'm all about nostalgia. I live in nostalgia. I'm hiring my compositors right now for the animation. And literally my thing is like, hey, so like old anime did this cool lighting. Can we do that? So we're talking. I live in the past. I am definitely the back in my day with the 90s and 80s. But like here's the flip side of that. They had a lot of problems too. I'm not going to sit there and be like, that was the golden age. I had a hell of a childhood, that's for sure. Like, that was super fun. But there was a lot of issues during that time. I go and look back and go, ooh, yeah, no, that shouldn't have, that shouldn't fly. Sweet says, you got a cooling blanket? Nice. I flail around too much, so... Lynn says there's a whole bunch of free plugins for anime compositing if you don't already know them. I don't know them personally just because I am not a compositor. I didn't go to school for compositing. In fact, I didn't know a ton about compositing because my school, again, I didn't go to the school for compositing, and my school didn't teach compositing. So when I started the project, I kind of ran into the problem of, oh, cool, I need to learn these things real quick if I'm going to hire somebody to do these things. And it's been a little bit of a hectic time because, like, I've had to try and learn, like, color scripting. I didn't know what color scripting was. I didn't know what, I didn't know, like, the different elements that go into compositing. Like, I knew, like, some lighting from some of my film classes, and from, like, stage, like, doing, like, basic, like, stage lighting, like, in middle school, for, like, theater. But, like, I didn't really know how to do that, like, in animation. wise. And so, like, it's been a little bit of trial and error, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there, right? But yeah, no, I am talking to 2 compositors right now. We are negotiating and everything and seeing if what I am looking for is feasible, and if not, we can negotiate from there. But very excited to work with them. I'll talk about them more later if all goes well. And if it doesn't, I won't talk about them. Nah, they seem awesome. I hope I get the chance. What is all that? I don't know what all this is. But yeah, I also don't have like After Effects and all that. So that makes it like a little bit more tricky. I know there's DaVinci and I know there's Motion Apple or Apple Motion. I don't have those either. Well, I have DaVinci, but I've tried playing with DaVinci and it wasn't getting what I wanted. But I also didn't play with it very long, right? Yeah, it would save me money, but I'd rather have like professionals do it and get like what I want out of it as opposed to me going, good enough, right? Fluffy says, yeah, I toss and turn, so I gotta take sleep medication, hence the username. Yeah, I used to have really bad insomnia as well, so I absolutely get that. Lynn says, 100%. DaVinci is alright, but there's a ton more plugins for After Effects. Yeah. So I learned a little bit of After Effects at my community college. It was really tough, and they were having us not do compositing with it. Like, we were trying to animate with After Effects, and like, I get the point, but like, it was a pain to animate in After Effects. So, and then Adobe started doing all this nonsense, so, like, not about that either. The fact that they, like, charge you a fee for canceling, and the AI nonsense, and I'm not gonna go on my whole little tirade of, like, why AI is bad. We all know. I don't need to go into detail. But very, very excited. We're one step closer, guys, because pretty much what we got left is getting everything composited and then hiring a sound designer. And then pretty much I will be there editing it and putting it together. And then we will have the pilot. So we are closer and closer every time. Hi, Magnus. Welcome in. Len says, OLM, Digital Open Tools, are the main ones I use, but there's more. Neat. Pax got ads again. I am so sorry, friend. Really? What? It says also the Blue Sky Discord link is invalid too. Really? The most recent one? Crazy. Huh. Hold on. Let me see what I can do real quick. I'm like playing music on YouTube, so I'm like, gotta go to a different, pull up YouTube, pull up my thing, and hopefully we don't get a reverb of me talking, because everybody loves that, especially me. Let's see. Oh, no. YouTube is not happy that I have 2 tabs open of it while streaming on it. Not happy at all. Alright, YouTube. Okay. I had to like force myself onto my channel. Nope, I heard the reverb. Ah! Okay. Oh, cool. I can't even get into the chat. Even on OBS, I can't get into the YouTube chat. Weird. Give me a sec. Let me see. No, Nope. YouTube is like, no, not gonna happen. Interesting. Maybe just hate you specifically. It's about that time where technology decides to rebel. I'm about to rebel. Okay. Okay, cool. I got the chat to open. Give me a sec to grab the link and just drop it in there. Uh-oh. Are things going down? I'm getting messages. I will read those messages later. No, I don't want the invite to server thing. I want the already made link. Can I have this link? Can I have this link? No, not allowed to have this link? Neat. Whatever. We'll just create an invite link and just take this one. Okay, there you go. That one should work. That one's a limited one, but that one should work. All right. Let me try to get back into what I was looking at. OBS, where did you go? Alrighty. Okay. Posted the link. Magnus says, now that I'm done with the Not Safe for Work animation, I'm finally working on both the first comic and the redesigns of OCs. Sweet! Hope to see him. Hi, Golden! Golden says, hello, I made it. I forgot your stream today. You know what? That is totally okay, because some days I forget about it too. It's always tough when you have, like, work and other priorities. And again, to join the Discord, you must be 18 and older. We are an adult series. While the server is generally well behaved, generally, you must be 18 to be in there. The boy howdy, when we got the fan art of Rufus in today, all of you became heathens. Flaffy, I'm not reading that. I'm not reading that. You're not going to get me in trouble, Flaff. Goodness. You know, I was even telling, I was in a call today while I was at work, and I was even, like, telling them that, you guys were thirsting, but I also did this to myself, having named the show Thought, right? Thought meaning the heroes of tomorrow, oh great Twitch and YouTube gods. The heroes of tomorrow, it's an acronym. Like, I'm fighting myself. Hi, 44 Games. Welcome in. Man, we have a lively chat today. I am here for it. How are you guys? Also, as always, if you're lurking, I appreciate you being here. If you're chatting, I appreciate you being here. If you have questions for me about what I do, about the series, and about things to come, feel free to ask. If you would like to tell me about your own OCs, tell me about your OCs and what they would do in the world of Sierrawassa. Tell me about your OCs and stories and ideas that you're just even working on at the moment. I would love to hear it. I'm here just kind of drawing. You guys are keeping me company because comics are hard and I need to kind of stay on track as much as I can while talking and chatting with you guys. The heroes of my heart. Aww. The what would that be? The home. The humma. The humma. Tama. I'm trying to make the acronym of that. T.H.O. Look, I'm dyslexic. Leave me alone. I'm doing great. 44 game says, doing good. That's great. Magda says, random question. Which one of your OCs should be referred to as the man? And I mean the man. That would be Glitch. The crime lord. As the crime lord of all of Sierrawassa. That would be the man. Now, if you're talking like the police, oh man, it's the man. It's the fuzz. Yeah, no, that would... I guess Leo, he's the commissioner, but like, I don't know. It's not as fun. We're gonna go with Glitch. Sai wishes he was the crime lord of all Sierrawassa. Sorry, I love phrasing it like that, so like you'll forever hear me just like, the crime lord of all of Sierrawassa. Like, I don't know, it's so funny to me. It'll be fun when I get to revisit the pilot in comic form and then do a comic dub and then go ask Byrne and Eddie to re-record their lines for a thing they did 6 years ago. And they're gonna be like, what? Be like, look, just humor me, please. Please. No, I'm like, I don't want to work on Windows. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. That's too damn bad. Keep quoting that in my voice calls. 10 points if you know what that reference is. Sai is the crime lord to me. Flappy says, I literally label Sai as Nasty Majesty when I draw him and save files. Don't give him a princely title. He doesn't deserve it. I'm not gonna lie, I get tired of having... Sorry, I got like distracted. I don't remember what I was saying. Hi, Sook. What's up? Yeah, you got it. Sook gets the 10 points. Sai's your princess. We're not doing Princess Sai again. Yeah, no, everything's going great. Sorry I haven't been on the game lately. I've just been busy with stuff. Plus also, I'm like sitting here foaming at the mouth for Resident Evil 9, so it's getting tougher every day. There's a Splatoon song with the same name and it reminds me of Sai. Have you posted it? I don't recall if you've posted it. I don't play Splatoon. I know plenty of friends and even my niece loved playing it, but I don't play Splatoon. Pax over here going, but he's my princess. Hello, princess. That has ruined me as well. Goodness. What am I doing with my life? That's right, I'm making a cartoon. One day I'll have things to show. Today is not that day. Sook says, I lost my streak, so I understand. No, you lost your streak? Because you were like, what, 500 plus days on it? That sucks. I don't blame you. I don't blame anybody. It's just, I just want to hang out with you guys. Like, that's all I care about is hanging out with you guys. Like, I don't... Otherwise, I'm like, again, I've said this hundreds of times. I would have left that game a long time ago. But I try to hang around and try to do my due diligence for the group. Magda says, so I made quite the mistake of trying a thing that no human being should be getting addicted to. Is it gacha? Is it gacha? Is that what you're getting addicted to? Because I don't believe any person should be addicted to that. And I have that problem. Flavia says, no, I've posted it. But I can. Oh, so you haven't posted it. Okay. Or you have, and I am dumb. This, too, is very, very likely. You know what a game I miss? I know I brought this up last time, but I still think about it. Like my coworker brought it up today. BioShock. BioShock was really, really pretty, but I hate the pipe game. I've bitched about this before, but yeah, a gacha game and Fortnite, both in the same day. Okay, look, I'm about to fall into the Fortnite hell. I've played a little bit of it because I have friends that play it, and I'm like, it's okay. But I'm going to fall into that hell when they re-release all the Resident Evil skins for Fortnite. I'm screwed. I'm screwed. Lynn says, gotta head out for now. Have a great rest of your night. Yeah, no worries, Lynn. I hope that link worked for you. I can't see Discord at the moment, but, like, I hope it worked for you. Pax says, I've been thinking about making another tiny animation of a scene from Total Drama Island, or Total Drama, with Rufus and Sai. It's gonna be like, Sai, I really want to do nice things for people. Rufus, oh my gosh, he's dying. Yeah, probably. Flappy says, please don't bring it BioShock. I'll make up another AU. I hate to tell you, friend, I hate to tell you that there's some inspiration, somewhere in thought of BioShock, like, equivalents. Like, I don't have it on me, but I would hate to tell you that there's some variation. Look, you guys bully me. I have to bully you. Lynn says, it did. Thank you. Technology decided to be so kind to you. Oh, good. Well, I hope to see you on there. Make sure you fill out your profile on the police reports and your birthday if you want to. Everybody give Lynn a warm welcome. Silence thought. I know it's a thought maker, but I wonder how many, like, I wonder if, like, if I ever got more popular and then, like, YouTube and, like, Twitch would actually be looking at me like, oh, your fandom's saying thought, that's not allowed. And I'm like, nah, it's fine. Magnus says, was that drawing that circle your coping mechanism? Yeah, but what circle? You have no proof. The circle never existed. The circle never existed. And then chest. Yeah, no, Brooke did a great job. Brooke understood the assignment that I didn't give her. She just kind of took the leap, and she's really awesome. I have so many cool friends. So skilled. It was really awesome also for Ken's to be talking about like the origins of Zippy and the plushie, because I didn't have the stuffed animal she had made. But she had come to me. She was like, yeah, like I have these little stuffed creatures and everything. If you need like an alien race or something, you can use them. And like I was like looking at them and I was like, oh my god, that'd be so cool to have like an alien race that gets like mistaken for stuffed animals, or has been hunted and poached to the point that they're used for stuffed animals. Because like how messed up would that be? So like very, very grateful for very, very grateful for Ken's having lent me such a cool idea. Please tell me someone says the bitches of tomorrow. I don't think anybody even says, like, the heroes of tomorrow. I mean, there's been plenty of jokes that people, like, have said of, like, oh, Rufus is gonna run him around and be like, where are the heroes of tomorrow? Where are thoughts? Like, that joke's been tossed around, but I don't think it's ever gonna, like, make it in. So I don't know anybody who would call them the bitches of tomorrow, but it would probably be, like, Blythe that would do it. We can rewind it and find the circle, Jax. No, you can't. No, not if I delete it. You can't. You have no proof. Plus, you know, it never existed. Never existed. You imagined it. You all imagined it. This is what we call the Mandela effect. Magnus says, by the way, before I even played Fortnite, I bought the skin of that pumpkin girl since she was about to be removed, and also I saw some good fan art of her. Aww. There was, God, what was it? There's this one creature on Fortnite, and I even, like, when I worked at GameStop, I bought that figure. I didn't play Fortnite. Like, I had the children, like, breaking down our door for the minty pickaxe and all that stuff. I lived through that war. But, like, there was this one creature in Fortnite, and it's, like, this big hooded creature that's got, like, teeth and, like, a really long tongue on it. I love that thing, and I bought that figurine. Didn't play Fortnite, but I was like, I loved whatever that creature was. And then when I started playing Fortnite, very sad that skin was not in there. Just because, you know, the skins rotate and whatnot. But really like that creature. I can't remember what that name is, though. Let's see. Pack says it's in my brain. Nope. Flaffy says, there are VODs, Jackson! No. There's no VOD. There's never been a VOD. You can't prove it. 44 Nights says, imagined what? Exactly. Exactly. There was nothing to even imagine. See, why can't you all be well behaved like 44 games? Making up stories. Tisk tisk. I think like the mukta side of my brain is coming out, and I think it's coming out my nose. Besides, it's not like you guys clip anything ever, so like you'll never catch me. Jacksathan Cornelius the Third. Oh, the Fortnite skin. Yeah, Big Mouth. That was the name. I loved him. He's a fun design. I love him a lot. His figurine was very well made, too. But I definitely grabbed him for thought inspiration. I think he's really, really cool. So if you see something that kind of looks like similar Big Mouth-wise, yes, he's a really cool design. I like him. But I also like my creatures to have, like, teeth, mouth, no eyes. That is my favorite kind of monster. Hi, welcome in, Dale. over on YouTube. I am streaming on YouTube and Twitch, but hi, welcome in. How are you today? My chat is trying to gaslight me about some crop circle or something, but like they'll never just let it go that it's their imagination. But how are you? Magnus over on YouTube says, as for the gacha, I started playing ZZZ because of Von Lycon, but I'm not expending money, is gambling, gotta grind for the furry buff dude. I don't know what that is. I don't know what ZZZ is. Neat. Flappy says, Dale Gribble, Pax Gaslight Imagination. Flappy Gatekeep? Oh my god, does that make me girl boss? Hair flip? That's it. I'm eating the live. Yes, Pax. I mean, oh no, please don't eat the live. Whatever you do, it would be a shame if it just disappeared. I don't know, I think I'm on my villain arc today. I don't know why I wasn't using the straightener. I was just like, yeah, I'll just make these, like, crunchy lines. Because I wasn't paying attention to squat. This is what happens when I'm more playing games than actually working on art. Chat distracting me. Tisk tisk. Eating it right now. Oh no, that'd be so sad. No, Yoko is girl boss. Damn straight she is. Oh, no. It has to be crunchy. Okay, well. Oh well. I deleted them. I just gotta draw them back in. And they're gonna be crunchy because they're at an angle. Because straight lines and angle in Procreate is, for some reason, really weird and taxing. And I also just don't care enough. Like, no one's gonna look at it. Sook says, matcha and cheesecake right now. Damn. Living like luxury over there. That sounds awesome. Magnus says, don't worry. How I described him should have said enough about my weakness. Furry buff dudes? I mean, go for it. I don't shame no one. I got my own things. I mean, for God's sake, I made a big reptile dude. I made multiple big reptile dudes. Hell, just like look at my series. Like almost everybody. I get blamed for it. I mean, as I should, but... I mean, you gotta draw them in somehow. I know. I just... meh. Though I'm realizing I don't think we're both talking about the bars on here. I think we're talking about the different characters and reptiles and characters I have. It's that time of night where I get the sniffles. I love it here. What if I was like allergic to nighttime? How crazy would that be? That's so funny. I was reading messages in a different chat, sorry. Yeah. So I got very irritated. I was trying to prep some scenes for the pilot for the upcoming compositors. I was trying to get that all just kind of prepped for them. And one of the shots, and it's a shot that all you guys have probably seen before, where it's Glitch on the big monitor in the city, and he kind of like does the scream and his hand kind of touches the screen. So that shot has a new background. Just because after we got in all the other backgrounds, it didn't match anymore. So I had to have that one updated, and the background looks great. And so I was plugging it in, and we even have like a background piece that is a monorail, because in Sirawasa there is a monorail that goes through the whole city. And the monorail piece and everything, like I have it on there, and so we're able to like take that monorail and like just slide it across and have it go zipping across, which is really cool effect. And so I was like getting it to animate, and I was getting it to do that whole feature thing, and it took a little bit of finagling to get it to work, and looked really cool, and I was really happy. And then I saw the cop car, and the cop car didn't have any of its special effects. I did all this work on an old file, and I spent about like an hour doing it. I was very upset. I went downstairs and pouted. I have to go find the file with the special effects. But I'm glad that I was playing with it, because I probably would have handed them that file with no effects on it, right? That would have been fun. Ooh, question time. I love questions. You guys are so fun at questions. Let's see. Flappy says, question, does Big Reg take most of the winnings for fights and gives the rest to his fighters, or does he pocket it all? Neither. I don't want to go into detail on that, but he does neither. But it does come across as him pocketing it for himself. But he does neither. Magnus says, question, are you familiar with the Half-Life or any games from Valve? Yes, I do remember Half-Life. I had a friend's brother who played Half-Life 2. He was one of those diehard guys that was like, oh, I want, Half-Life 3. Half-Life 3 is about to come out. It's going to come out any day. Like, he was one of those guys. So yeah, no, I was very much around it. And then I played, like, Gmod. I played a lot of Gmod, honestly. And then Valve made, Steam. So yeah. The ads. Take stretches. Drink water. Call your senators. Go to the bathroom, like, seriously, guys. Like, during ad times, like, go take some breaks. Take some stretches. Take some deep breaths. Get a drink. Go to the bathroom. Go take care of yourselves. I think it's a really good time for that. So yeah. Very interesting. Yeah. Again, not trying to be cheeky on it or anything, but like, it is a good question. Very good question. But the answer is neither. But I do like getting questions from you guys. It's always fun. Sai the type to announce he's going to the toilet very obnoxiously. I don't know if he would announce he's going to the toilet obnoxiously, but he is the type to go to the toilet, because where they stay it's a public bathroom, and by public bathroom, I mean like everybody in the compound uses it. They don't get a personal bathroom. But like everybody uses this one bathroom, and Sai will take his time in it and make everybody wait. And he will literally do everything. Like, he will be playing with the toilet roll. He'll be messing with the shower curtain, taking his shower, brushing his teeth, like picking his ears, like all that stuff, like every single time. Just so that he can open the door and smile at the really long line he has created. He is also the type that if someone else is in there, he is going to be pounding on the door consistently and telling them that they're being rude and inconsiderate. Yeah. Oh no! I'm so sorry, Flappy. I hope you don't throw your fanfic out for that. I think the only time he would, like, announce what he's doing is if somebody was pounding on the door for him and he's literally screaming, "I'm shitting." I think that's, like, the only thing I could think of him announcing. Magnus says, I love when we make OCs that would be unbearable people in real life. Sai is definitely a dude that I would loathe. He's definitely a guy I would loathe. I would loathe his brother probably just as much, if not more, because I think he's actually hurting people. But yeah, no, it's really fun. They're fun characters to have because you kind of want some comeuppance. Guys, I'm eating. Come on. I'm sorry, Pax. We'll move on from the potty talk. Flaffy says, I have these ideas and you prove me wrong because my dumbass wants to be correct and canon. Here's the thing, Flaffy, you are close on a handful of things, and that's kind of really awesome too. Why? What did you have in your fanfic, since that's not what Sai has done in it? But of course, be appropriate so that, so that Pax can, eat in peace. I don't think that's right. I'm gonna hate myself. I need all these lines to go away. And the reason why is because I eventually have to color it, and I don't want to color through the cross-hatching. So yippee, I get to do it again. Alright. Well, there's Victor falling from Neo Sirawasa to Ol, freaking surviving. If he was not half not human, he would be dead. Most likely, yeah. keep going diagonal. And that's a fence. I'm gonna turn off the fence for now. The fence is still there. I just turned it off. Wonder if I got emails. I'll have to check that after the stream. Like there's boring parts to like making your own cartoon, and that's all the business side of it. Of trying to make contracts, NDAs, trying to, and by contract I mean like that's the only one I do right now for the pilot is an NDA. I need to actually go like draft up real contracts for when we do the short. But when I started this, I didn't do contracts, so I'm just going to avoid that for now, right? But contracts are important. But again, you gotta do like contracts, you gotta do like kind of paperwork, emails back and forth, bothersome, boring stuff. I'm like, it's like stuff I do at work. And it's a matter of like trying to keep up with it and be good about it. It's almost like animating's hard or something. And then we'll go back here, turn this fence on, and then we'll go here. Flaffy says, but another fanfic story beat was Victor's mother confronting Big Reg in convincing them to give Victor a bigger cut of the betting pool since it was 80-20. Interesting. I wonder if Reggie actually took knee to that. Magnus, something I learned about character sheets is that you should indeed make a turnaround of characters so you can check if the general design is still recognizable on all perspectives. Absolutely. It's also just very important because when you are hiring other people on or when you are animating, especially like for a comic, you can do kind of like a bunch of different like little references of characters. A turnaround of your main characters is generally important for a comic, but if you had like a side character, you wouldn't really need to do it so much for comic. But for animation, you have to do it for that, just because you're expected to be handing this to somebody else, and like they may not know the style, they may not know all the intricacies that go into your character and all like the little nuances. For instance, in the pilot, Rufus's beard has changed in the comic, but in the pilot, on his beard, it is 6 vertical lines each cheek. 6. Can't be 5, it's gotta be 6. And for his hands, only 3 fingers and a thumb. And a lot of times I had animators that would draw like 5 to 4, 5 to 6 on the hair strands, draw all 5 fingers, draw only like, they would always like draw 5 fingers, and I'd have to go back and tell them, hey, no, you really can't with this character, cannot have 5 fingers. So like, it's a really good reference thing because you can go and talk to your team and be like, hey, why are you drawing his hair fluff like a little bit flatter? And they go, oh, well, it's on the character sheet. And you realize, oh, that's a bad part on that character sheet. So then you have to go change it, or you both look at it and go, no, actually you can see here, this is where it has the swoop, and you go 1, 2, 3 point. So like, yeah, the character sheets are great for wanting to check their silhouettes and make sure they're still recognizable characters. Absolutely. But it's also very important for when you were having a team working with you. Because I had a lot of issues on character consistency. And then it didn't help that I changed my character designs halfway through. This pilot probably would have already been out, like, probably 2 years ago. If I just kind of shrugged and went, let's just get it done. If I had stuck with that mentality, because I had that mentality for a little bit, where I was like, let's just get it done. And I took a step back and I realized my art had like completely changed from when it initially started. And I didn't want that. I didn't want that style anymore. I wanted the new style I was doing. So I had to like sit there and redo all the character sheets. And usually you don't want to do this in the cleanup stage, but I worked with my cleanup stage crew and we did revision and cleanup at the same time. Not really suggested to do that because, again, that is a lot of work put on them. I generally tried to compensate the best I could. But yeah, that was really taxing to try and get the characters to be a fair bit more on model and consistent, because there was times where it was a lot more inconsistent. And there's nothing wrong with that in animation, because in fact, I grew up with a lot of animations to where the character style would change all the time. But for me, I really wanted it to, like, there's times that the characters just didn't look like the characters. So I had to make a do's and don'ts sheet, and even then I still had people like missing things. I have a whole folder of redlining that I did. And I'll plan to kind of stick that in the art book, which I'll eventually work on that. But yeah, that was an interesting time. Flaffy says, at first, Reg didn't like it. They don't negotiate, especially to a tiny human lady that just waltzed right in his place, making demands. It's a lot of back and forth for a moment. Reg thinks she's threatening them. Oh, for sure. It's because most people that waltz in try to threaten Reg. But I love that. I love that she can waltz in and own the place. I know Reg would not be so happy with that, though. So question from creator to creator, how much have your habit of consuming media has changed since you started creating? Okay. So that's a tricky one. If we are saying, how much has my habit of consuming media changed since I started Thought? Or since just me being a creator, I'm going to assume we're talking about since I started creating Thought. And if we're talking about that, I'm going to say I am consuming less. And I don't think that's a good thing. But the reason why I am consuming media less is because all of my free time goes into this project. And as I had mentioned earlier, I had a bit of a burnout And I played through the whole Yakuza series in 1 year. That is like 9+ games. And give or take. And like that kind of rewired some things. I did watch a few horror movies in that time frame. I did like listen to some audiobooks of horror stuff. But like it changed in the way of me going, how would this work for thought? What would I do different on this? But it's also changed in, I used to like read books all the time. I used to watch a lot of movies, play a lot of video games all the time. But I didn't draw. Or if I did draw, it was really, really like Christopher Hart drawing kind of anime style. So like I wasn't really good at it. So like one of those, something has to give. Something always has to give. Is you can't have all of it. You have to give up something. And it is very important to still read things. It is very important to still watch things and study things. And, you know, hell, even news reports that are happening are crazy to me. Because one, we're living in a really crazy time right now. But some of the stories that I've heard, like lately, in the past and everything, I had made these as kind of like, oh yeah, no, that's going to be a thing in thought. And then it happens in real life. And I sit here going, no, that's supposed to be a fictional thing. No one would ever do something like that. That's horrendous. No, but I'm still having it in thought. But it just sucks now that it's a real world event. Like, so like, it's just difficult to say, how much it really changed. Because I feel like I'm not consuming a lot, but like I'm still trying to go out of my way to consume some stuff because I don't believe that it's good for me to be like, no, I know what I'm talking about, because my stuff would get stale. And who knows, if there comes a time to where you guys are just like, Jax fell off the wagon, I don't like this story no more, so be it. My thing is I'm making the story because this was a story that I wish I had seen when I was a kid. No, this is not a show for kids. This is not a show for kids. I'm going to repeat that one more time. This is not a show for kids. But this was something I wanted so bad as a kid. Like, and I should not have watched the things I watched as a kid. Like, but like, I wanted to know that adult cartoons could have horror in them. I wanted to know that like adult cartoons, like, you know, you could watch all the action movies and everything, but you could watch it in cartoon form, because I just thought cartoons were way more fun, because like it was easier for me to keep up with it. But again, my stuff is not for a younger audience. It's for adults. And then kind of growing up, they're just like, oh yeah, well, as a former kid, I approve this message. Sook, were you one of the kids that played Resident Evil when you weren't supposed to? That was me. But like, this is just, it drives me nuts when they're just like adult cartoons, Family Guy, The Simpsons, American Dad. Neat. Cool. There is an audience for it, and I'm not going to ever shit on anybody for liking those things. But like, I wanted things like Spawn, because Spawn was on HBO. Back when HBO was a cable channel, you had to pay extra for it. And I would see like, you know, things for it. And I was like, oh, cool, adult cartoons, without realizing it was an adult cartoon. And it didn't like wire in my brain correctly that adult cartoons could exist until I watched Vampire Hunter D. And now that's anime. And anime is a whole different breed of animation too. So like, but for Western ones, they're just like, nah, slice of life, funny comedy, ha ha ha, sitcom, like every time. And I'm like, but we could be something more. We could have something more. Why aren't we allowed to have something more? So yeah. I mean, she's got a biomodified wolf sheep monster backing her up, but she's not threatening, merely suggesting. She brings up fight statistics and how her baby boy is really bringing in business, especially new clients, and how Victor admires Reg. Eventually, Reg relents and changes it to 70-30 for him. Nice. We have talked about this in the Discord about adult animation. Absolutely. Sook said Toonami was trying to give adult cartoons to kids. Even the breaks between shows were deep. Yeah, they were. They were deep. But again, the adult cartoons that were on Toonami were anime, because anime has an understanding that adults can watch these like cartoons that have like heavier messages and like have all these like moments and everything that like Western animation shies away from, and it really sucks. And so like I want to do that, and I have lots of friends that are making young adult stuff, which is totally fine. I have lots of friends that are making general audience stuff, which is totally fine. There is nothing wrong with it, but I'm like one of the few ones that is like, hey, I am doing an adult show. And people are like, oh, it's porn. I'm like, it is not porn. Yes, there's smecks, and there's violence. I'm like, how can I say this without getting banned? And there's like body horror stuff, like, and there's like political stuff in there too. Like it's got heavier messages to it that you wouldn't see normally. Sure, it's got that stuff, but like, it's not, prawn or anything. It's not that. So yeah. It's really hard trying to like change words. I will learn it one day. Hey Rhea, congrats on making 100 subscribers. Congrats. Rhea, you can say it. I'm not sure if I can say it. YouTube and Twitch are interesting on demonetizing that kind of stuff, so I have to be very careful what I say. I feel ya. I even struggle to create because I can't just start drawing as soon as I'm home. I gotta cook, clean, and I end up tired. I absolutely understand that. I had to do that, and then I got onto streaming. So I am right there with you. I completely understand. I am exhausted, but I have to do a routine and then just keep going. But no one is ever going to be upset with you because you were tired and you were taking breaks for yourself. Your health is far more important than, trying to get art done. Plus, it does take a toll on your art when you are doing it tired, because you will have to go back and fix mistakes. I do it all the time. Hello? There we go. Also, I have a headcanon for Yuji, but I'm not sure it would be too much of a spoiler because I even use the headcanon in my other story. Interesting. Ray says, on YouTube, you're allowed to say it, but you need to put it in the description as a warning. Yeah, that makes sense. I just don't really have a description thing that I use on OBS to be able to warn when I'm going to say words like that. So it's I'm just trying to play safe. And I'd rather say silly words than YouTube or Twitch come down with a hammer for some reason. So just going to be playing it safe on that. Magnus says, and it took me a while to get into the mentality of you may or may not make a living out of art, but you can live for the art. Absolutely. Absolutely on that. That is a tough pill to swallow. But it's I know I'm going to be having a desk job for pretty much the rest of my life. I don't see the Heroes of Tomorrow becoming like, wow, oh my god, the next amazing digital circus. I don't see that. Just because the instance of it being, horror, a lot of people love it, but then a lot of people don't. Like, they love safe horror. They don't like the, more extreme stuff. And mine would generally be more extreme. Plus, I'm not animating everything anymore because that's way too expensive and I don't have a team for that. So, yeah, no, that is a very, very good mindset. Live for the art. Tell the story that you wanted to hear. 'Cause God knows that's what I'm doing. I'm making the story that I always wanted to see. And sometimes it's lonely at first because you're the only one that's in your corner, but you give it enough time and you let it cook enough and you let people see it, then people get to enjoy it with you. That's what I do. That's why, I will go and give people, snippets and such, and I'm like, come look at this. And I have a lot of people like, no, I have to hold on to all my stuff. And I'm like, I don't care. If people want to see my stuff, let's go for the most part. I will show things that are not just dead on spoilers, because it's like handing out samplers at Costco. I'm like, look, I just want you guys to try the product. If you like it, you can come back. If you don't like it, you don't have to stick around. So that's the way I see it. Let's see. Wolf's here. Wow, we got a lot of people here today. This is awesome. You guys are spoiling me. Okay, so Wolf says, saw the promo art from the Indie Animation Day. Cy and Rufus are so hot. You guys are so silly. Sook says, would you consider Murder Drones gory? Murder Drones had some good scary moments in it, but I still consider it kind of kid horror. And I know I said the G word on there. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to do what I can. Would you consider it? Okay, so Murder Drones, I think, is a great young adult to kid horror. Because none of the drones really bleed. Because that's oil. Like, all of it is oil. It's not like blood. So in a way, that's its own censorship. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't... It's kind of like... Oh. Yay, ads! Love to do free stuff to help real ones. Thanks. I'll answer when you get back, Sook. Fluffy says, screw it, I'll say the headcanon over. Sook, when you get back, I'll answer the question for you. Reyes says, I love horror, but if it gets too freaky, if you know, I'm out. And you know what? Some of my stuff may get to that, so kind of have that as a warning. Like Walking Dead, it got too romantic. Walking Dead, it wasn't too much of it got too romantic for me. It got too much, The Walking Dead got too much to me of here's the zombie deaths. I like the first season. I think the first season's fun. But it's like, here's the zombie deaths. Okay, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Oh, there's this angst and this drama. Oh, we're learning that humans are the real monsters. Dun, dun, dun. I don't care. I don't care. I just want to see the zombies. Like, that's my problem, is I don't care about the humans, and we stuck around too long with the humans. I didn't care about the drama. And then I have a buddy. He likes the drama more than watching the zombie fights. So, like, yeah. Like the newer seasons, I guess. I kind of gave up after the second season. I kind of tried to watch the third season, but it just was not for me. Side design looks amazing. Why can't he just be a nice guy? Because it wouldn't be fun and you wouldn't like him if he was. Back from the ads. Okay, so, Magnus is saying, well, there's the main villain, or the murder drones, who wears human skin. Okay, so I was gonna get to that. So, the way I see this series is, okay, so the series is, for me, and I'm not trying to downplay it, because I did enjoy it until the dinosaur section, because I don't know where the dinosaurs came from. I'm still confused about that. It was fun. It was fun to watch. I'm still confused about the dinosaurs. But again, it's not real blood. These are robots. So it's kind of a baby's first horror kind of thing, and I'm not trying to downplay it. I'm not in any way. I think it's important for young audiences and children to have horror to introduce themselves into, because I think horror is a very beautiful section of media that gets kind of scrutinized too much. But there are some people who do take it too far. Now, I think it's a great introduction for babies first kind of horror stuff, just to kind of introduce, because I saw children that were loving it. So again, take it with a grain of salt. Please don't take offense to it. I love murder drones as that. Would I say it's a horror thing? I wouldn't say it's a horror thing, except for the fact of the villain wearing human skin. Very fascinating, still pretty tame. And what I mean by that is, yeah, that is super terrifying. Would have been more terrifying if we got to spend more time with that human. We only saw the human in like that one flashback, and we're kind of going off of what this human was to everybody. You know, what this human was to everybody based off of what everybody is saying. And that can be its own cool story technique. But like, I think if it had been like reversed, and we could relate to the human, and we could see the human a lot more, and then have that shock factor. But like, I don't know, it didn't hit right, and I wouldn't say it was, yes it is, yes it's not. Like, it's a weird, complicated thing, the way that they approached it, in my opinion. My opinion is not correct. Okay, my opinion is not law. This is just my opinion on how I viewed it. I think it was interesting what they did to it. I did buy, or I went and supported the Murder Drones comic. Very excited to read that and see what they do with it. I think it is a great introduction into horror for younger audiences. There was another horror movie I saw. Uh-oh, Sook redeemed the stretch. I just saw it. That was 10 minutes ago. I gotta do my stretch. Thank you, Sook. Oh, that's a good stretch. Okay, so yeah, no, I think Murder Drones is great as an introduction into horror if you're just like, I'm just not into it. Did you know that one of the ingredients in salt is explosive? Isn't it like... Oh, God, what is the ingredients? Alright, Graham, thanks for coming by. So yeah. Sorry, that was my tangent. I stopped drawing for it. Chlorine, thank you. I was like, God, what is it? I haven't been in school forever. And I need to brush up on, like, my chemistry. That's the problem when you've been out of school for so long, you forget things. What was that movie I saw? I did stretch. I did have a nice, good stretch. Thank you, Sook. Like, everything was, like, popping in my back. What was that movie I watched recently? It's not Iron Lung. I enjoyed Iron Lung. But what was that movie I watched recently that I was like, oh, this is a good, you know, kids horror movie? Duh, I know what it was. It was Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I'm dumb. I'm so dumb. I'm gonna throw myself down a flight of stairs. Did you say in your mind, big stretch? I did. I did. I actually thought I said it out loud. Yeah, it was FNAF 2, the movie. Is it a great horror movie? No. Is it a great horror movie for young audiences to be introduced into horror? Yes. I think it's perfect for that. Did I have a good time? Yeah, but I also like B-grade movies. I have a good time with B-grade movies. Like, I also grew up on classic Resident Evil of, what is it? What is it? It's blood. You were almost a Jill sandwich. Like, I grew up on that shit. Like, I love cheesy stuff. Magnus says, wish I could watch Iron Lung. Gotta wait for the digital release because of limited release. Yeah, it was really good though. 44 Games says, I think Monster House and Coraline are great introductions. I absolutely agree. I think those are really, really, really good ones for children. But even then, Coraline is a perfect one for like almost anybody to be introduced into horror. It had enough like subtle, you know, nuances to it, to, if you know, have a creep factor and all that you're just not into, I think anybody could get behind that one. Monster House is a good one. It is a good one, but I have definitely seen adults turn more of an like a nose up at that one than Coraline because of just kind of the artistic appeal of it. But also when Monster House came out, 3D was everywhere. Every movie was in 3D, and people were starting to get sick of it by the time Monster House came out. So, like, when Monster House was like, oh, it's in 3D, people were like, I don't want to watch 3D. I don't want to watch 3D anymore. And then Avatar came out, and everybody's like, oh my god, 3D! It was great. I'm making these too big. Because, like, I have nieces and nephews. They're pretty young. We are a spooky family. We like horror movies and Halloween and goth stuff and the macabre and all that. Kind of chalked up to being Norwegian, I found out. At least that's what I've been told by my Norwegian relatives, who also kind of like the strange and the macabre. Just kind of funny to us. Casper. I think some moments in Casper, yeah, but I wouldn't consider it horror so much. 44 Games, yeah, the Coraline and the Monster House. Sook is saying Casper. Sook also said, I was introduced to horror with Resident Evil, I'm pretty sure, and the Blair Witch Project. Oh god, I remember the Blair Witch Project. We all thought those people were dead. Everybody thought that was real footage. Everybody thought they were dead. And then they came on a talk show and everyone was confused. It was like, wait, I thought it was found footage. Hold up. Because again, they introduced a whole new thing. I'm personally not a fan of found footage, but I'm also prone to motion sickness. So, I mean, I was just on a cruise and I was literally gripping the table going, I feel the boat turning. Coraline is just perfect for the whole audience. I agree. Flappy says, sorry for not chatting. I was on Discord. How dare you? I'm right here. No, it's fine. You can do whatever, dude. I'm never gonna be upset. Unless, like, PAX is, like, catching Discord on fire, then, you know. Nah, like, the stuff I had for horror as a kid was, like, the wolf thing from Never Ending Story. Of course, now I look back at that wolf and it's so derpy looking, but that thing terrified me. Gremlins, which Gremlins is the reason why we have the rating PG-13, is because of the movie's Gremlins. Because Gremlins came out and it was rated PG, but because of the violence and, you know, scariness supposedly to children, that is where we got our rating for PG-13. I always think that's a fun fact. I was putting down my headcanon theory, but we can blame PAX too. Wolf says they did just write. Wait, was it PG? Coraline? I think Coraline was PG. Magnus says, for my comic, I was not only inspired by cartoons from the Y2K era, but also the live action stuff of that era. Yeah, no, Y2K is a very, very interesting time for movies. Because again, I take a lot more interest from like the 90s and the 80s, but like there is a very specific style that Y2K has. And then everything has just been kind of stagnant since, it feels like. Small Soldiers. I have not thought of that movie in forever. Wow. Yeah, but we also had like Chucky, so like we started fearing our toys because of Chucky. Or I'm sorry, Child's Play. Pax, Flaffy, I swear. I'm gonna get the water bottle out. I remember as a kid. Okay, so I watched horror movies as a kid. And shock to everybody, right? That was because I was the youngest of my family. So, of my siblings, there was like, the oldest one was like a 10-year age gap. So like when they would come to visit, kind of had to do like what they wanted. And again, they weren't trying to be mean or anything, but like, we also had like one TV, one VCR, and we had a Blockbuster card, right? And so we would go, I'm dating myself at this point, and we would go rent movies. And a lot of times my family were like, we want to watch horror movies. Okay, fine. So then, well, not fine, I was like 4 or 5. There was one horror movie we watched. It was a Stephen King one. And it's called Langoliers. It is the most boring ass movie ever. It is so boring. It's about these people that fell asleep on an airplane that went over the Bermuda Triangle, and like everybody else disappeared. They wake up and like they're at an airport and like no one's there. Everybody's gone. And the food is stale, time's not moving. And you find out that they're stuck in limbo. And they're like, well, how do we get out of here? And there's these weird CGI things that look like meatballs with chainsaw teeth, and they would start eating the world. Kind of an interesting concept. So they have to like get out of this limbo. And my child brain has been fixated on monsters since forever, it seems, because I used to beg my parents for us to watch that movie. It's a boring movie, but I just wanted to see the meatball monsters with the chainsaw teeth. It is a boring movie. I am so sorry to my parents, because that's all I wanted to watch. Oh goodness, they're fighting. Wolf says, it can be challenging to write something like Coraline. Yes, absolutely. They had a great team that was going into it. Jax, they're fighting again. Pax, Flaffy, knock it off. You're scaring Golden. We're not doing this. Can I get the spray bottle? We don't scare Golden. Pax, we don't scare Golden. Magnus says, have you ever watched any disturbing media where you feel uncomfortable in a bad way, not because of the G and the stuff, but because the subject's being dealt with? Oh, absolutely. There's plenty of media I have seen that had topics that's you're fine to type it. I just don't think I can say it. I'm trying my best not to say it because again, I just don't want to anger whatever gods or whatever. I've seen a handful of movies that just left me feeling gross and icky and violated, and that was the point of the movies. They wanted to do that. They wanted you to have those feelings. I've had some movies to where I was like, wow, that was really good. I can never watch it again. I can never deal with anything that heavy again. I can't touch it again. I will never look at it again. I can't do this again. I've had that. I can't do Saw movies, too much gore. Yeah, like, they're cheesy looking now, but definitely when they came out, I was definitely not a huge fan of them. And, God, I keep saying it. I need to not say it. And, yeah, in Centipede, no. I like the song about Centipede. That one's funny. But yeah, there's certain movies, and I'm never going to like be like, no, you should never make these movies, because I believe these movies still have a place. And I like all the blood stuff. I like the G stuff. To a point. Usually if it's done kind of in a fun way. Sometimes it's done in not a fun way and I still enjoy it if it's good for the storytelling, but like generally it's kind of that fine line you gotta like tippy-toe. Oh, Salo disturbed you? Yeah, I heard about that one. I didn't touch it. And then it doesn't help that when I was 14 and I sailed the 7 seas quite a bit when I was 14. I was a really good sailor of the 7 seas. And I happened to stumble across a... How do you say that? I stumbled across a Snuffleupagus movie. It was a good old Snuffleupagus movie. And I thought it was a horror movie, and it was a real Snuffleupagus movie. Yeah, that has very much scarred me. So, like, I never... No, this is just, I happened to stumble onto the section where they turn the lights off on the internet, by mistake, I guess. And I, like, deleted it. I deleted, the 7 Cs, and all that. Like, Yeah, no, that still lives in my head, unfortunately. Yeah. So, I never want to cross that line. I never want to make people, like, that uncomfortable, and that's why, like, there will be points where there will be uncomfortable moments in my stuff. There will be points where it gets a little bit darker and heavier, but I still want to try having, like, lighter moments in it. But yeah, yeah, the yo-ho, as they say. But yeah, that stuff's always interesting. Don't go looking for Snuffleupagus movies on the Seven Seas. No, Kiri, I'm not. It's only 8:40. I am not. Rude. Over here bullying me. One of my oldest friends coming in here bullying me, but she won't play Resident Evil 5 with me. No. No, she won't play Resident Evil 5 with me. That's right, I'm shaming you. I'm shaming you. I'm gonna tell my chat to shame you. Whatever. Whatever. I should have, like, made my voice crack during that. Why aren't you in bed? You got work in the morning. I would know, because we go to the same job. Choose a day. I did! And then you bailed, so it's your turn. Please don't make me fight you in front of everybody. Technically you're in bed? Wow. You did go to bed early. I'm assuming YouTube blocked my last message. I don't see what your message was. Next Tuesday. Not Tuesday, because I don't have a way to stream it unless you have the game on PC. Because if we're playing on PlayStation, I don't have a way to stream my PlayStation. And if we're just going to play it by ourselves, since I have Tuesday stream, can we do, like, Wednesday? Sure, I'll be tired, but, like, can we do Wednesday? Fluffy says, yeah, that's why I kind of worried about my stuff with Rochelle and child exploitation, Yuji's headcanon theory, diving dark subjects, but I never want people to think I'm romanticizing it. Yeah, there is that fine balance of trying to talk about topics and not romanticizing it. We can chat about tomorrow. You hate me. You hate me. No, I'm kidding. I love you dearly. Wednesday is Gucci. Thank you. Who do you want to be? You want to punch boulders? Do you want to hub? Which one do you want? In short, I made the mistake of watching The Men Behind the Sun, which I can only describe as the portrayal of the historical events of Unit 731. Hope that's not a taboo subject for YouTube. I don't know. I haven't heard about that. I'm afraid to, like, look it up. I'll probably try to look it up later. That sounds scary. You're gonna be Sheva? Okay. No, there is no flashlight in this one. It's not Revelations 2. We'll play Revelations 2 after, and then you could be Barry's daughter and hold the flashlight, okay? Because I only bought you 5. I didn't buy you Revelations 2. What is my favorite disturbing movie? personally, I really don't like the disturbing movies. Like, there's times I can walk out and be like, they're good, but it doesn't mean I like them. Because, like, Carrie, shush. It's because, like, I personally don't like having those vibes and those feelings. Just because, again, I have my own trauma with things. And, the most disturbing movie I can stomach is, like, a werewolf film. And it's one of those, like, I can watch a lot of stuff. I can generally watch a lot of stuff, but if it makes me feel gross and icky and all that stuff, like, it's already tough having, you know, grown up as a woman. I am gender fluid now, but having, like, grown up as a woman and living in, like, fears and, like, constant looking over my shoulder and, like, knowing the things that happen in the world and what, like, it was just a lot. Magnus says, anyways, did a good progress of art today. Gotta go to bed now. Good night. Night, Magnus. Thanks for hanging out. Midsummer was a great disturbing movie. I still need to see that one. Like, I saw Hereditary. I know Hereditary is like I saw it. It was good. I can't watch it again. I can't watch Hereditary again. But I need to watch Midsummer. I prefer to be grossed out in a story that's a cautionary tale of such. Yeah. Very much so. Like, I like cautionary tales or, hey, this is a problem and it needs to be fixed. So I guess that would be kind of a cautionary tale. But I'm also the type that's over here clapping like a seal when somebody gets splashed in the face with blood. I will laugh. I will laugh when, like, somebody gets hit with, like, more gallons of blood than what's in the human body. That stuff is so funny to me. Like, I know that's generally not what's being or what is going for, but, like, I will laugh and other people will be, like, quiet around me and I'm like, sorry, it's just funny. Oh, you have the director's cut? Nice. May have to come over and watch it sometime. Whenever you get a place I can come visit. Just saying. Because you can't survive at my house. Stop being, like, allergic to animals or something. I'm only being mean to Kiri because we have known each other for over 20 years. And Kiri bullies me. You do bully me. Okay. I like how I've been working on one panel. This is what I did last time. We're having decent conversations. Ads again. Wow. That's so weird that it's so persistent. No, I need to follow the red lines. Me over here like, no, this'll look better. I'm like, that's not the point of red lines. Yeah, they do hate you today, it seems, Pax. Curie says, there is no proof of bullying. Now give me your lunch money. What is that? Fluffy, they don't hate me. Oh my god, everybody's bullying everybody. Aw, Golden's dancing. Uh, hiss, tee-hee, that's my line. Goodness. Maybe one day I can make a dancing zippy emoji or something. One day. You know, out of the whole, like, list of hundreds of things I gotta get done. Yes, do it! I gotta find, like, the perfect dance for him to do. That's, like, you know, good enough for, like, a moat standard. Kiri, I'm going to bed and you can't stop me. You're already in bed, so, like, what's new? Good night, Kiri. Oh, shoot. Wow, it's almost 9. Wow. Time really flies. I remember when these streams used to be 1 hour. Flappy says, I do like writing dark subjects and diving into psychology horror. That shit is my jam. You're getting hallucinations from the trauma you've endured, and it will never make you forget what happened. Sign me the F up. Yeah, there are a handful of things as the series goes on. Carrie says, I'm turning over to the cool side of pretending to sleep for 8 hours. Yes, I'll see you really groggy in the morning, and I'm going to smile at you and go, how is your sleep? As I say this, I'm going to be hit by the insomnia gods. I guarantee it. But good night, Kiri. Night-night. Fluffy says, Jax be like, okay, it's been an hour, everyone get the hell out. It's been 2 hours. What are you talking about? Look, I have the thing of, like, I don't want to be streaming too long because, 1, I don't want to bore you guys. 2, I get fatigued doing streams. Not because it's like, oh, I don't like being here and I don't like doing streams. I love doing streams. I love talking to you guys. It's just anyone that personally knows me, I'm not a social butterfly. And so it takes a lot of energy to kind of be, you know, working on stuff and talking to you guys and, you know, kind of keeping the energy up for it as much as I can. I know there's been streams where I can't even muster the energy. But I digress. Nope, but again, I do like hanging out with you guys. Suk, I was thinking of streaming my gameplay, but in reality, I'm shy as fuck. Well, I'm gonna say, streaming is taxing on the introverts. Yeah, it is. But like, I really do like doing it. And Suk, I mean, I would still try it. Because again, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun having streams going because again, you can read the chat. You're gonna have your game there that you're focusing on. And generally, it's good if you interact with the chat, of course, because everybody likes, you know, having some engagement. But like, no, I think you do great. I definitely go watch it, Soup. What game would you stream? Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna start by streaming just the game till I get used to it and work my way up to interacting. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, that's probably a good way because a lot of people start it and they kind of hope that they're gonna get like hundreds of people flooding into their chat to talk to them. And that doesn't always happen. I know when I first was doing streams, and this was like years and years ago, I had like multiple streams where no one showed up. And it was a little disheartening, but it was like, whatever. And then eventually I just kind of gave up on it. And then when I started having free time again, and I was like, I want to try it again, I was so surprised by like just the handful of people that are here that showed up kind of to the first few streams. And those streams were rough because I was like, I'm not going to do it on Twitch because I had a bad thing on Twitch, and I was doing it on TikTok, and I was doing it on Instagram, and I had like a camera that was being tripod aiming at my art. And then those things started being like, oh, you need to be this famous. And I went, well, screw it. And I went to Twitch, and pretty much it's been going well. You just got to be consistent. I was the OG for the stream. You were, Flaffy. You very much were. You and Pax very much were. And Golden. You guys get the badge of honor. You do get a medal. You do get a badge of honor. Yeah, I say go for it. So I think the other thing that a lot of people are doing are they're doing like the VTubers, the PNG tubers, where they make like the little Sona like I have up there, so that you don't have to have your face cam. You don't have to show that off to anybody, and it's kind of like wearing a costume, and it's really nice. And I'm one of those people. People know what I look like. I have put my face on the internet multiple times, but I definitely feel way more comfortable not being on the camera, because that was the other thing, is I used to be on the camera when I did my other streams, and I didn't feel comfortable. It's not that I can't do it, I just didn't feel comfortable. And then when I made my little Sona, and I had them in the corner, I don't know, it just feels a lot more comfortable. I feel in a safe space, and I just kind of stream and have fun with you guys. So there's a lot of great opportunities there. I think I've seen you once and forgot what you look like because I have the object permanence of a baby. I mean, again, I'm not like, oh my god, no one can ever know. I just feel a lot more comfortable in this little Sona that's not humanoid, and it's not oh my god, it's because I'm a furry. I don't really think I am, because a furry is like a lifestyle, but like, I don't know, it's just fun to have like a little cartoon character you can kind of masquerade as, right? I'm not saying you have to go be like an anime boy, but you might get a lot of people jumping in if you were an anime boy. Just saying. I like your Sona, by the way. Thank you. I like my little bat. I'm trying to get the PNG tuber, but it's still in the workshop. We'll see how long that keeps taking. they're very nice. It's just things keep coming up and things keep changing, and I have to keep changing PNG tuber programs and relearning them, so it's a little bit of a hassle. Usually I default to you looking like your old Sona. I need to see more art of your bat Sona to have it solidified in my brain. Fair. Fair. I don't really draw my bat Sona as much, but I should. Again, it's kind of thanks to my buddy Chris, because I had seen it, because originally it was an adoptable, which was that little pumpkin Sona bat one. And I really liked it, and it was kind of one of those, I was looking through the window and he was looking through the window at it, and he went and bought it. And he was like, we'll have joint custody of it, because he was going to go redesign it for his own show, and I really liked it for, like, a Sona. Because I've always... Again, I like the macabre, I like spooky stuff, and I've always liked bats. I think bats are great. I think raccoons are great. I think my idea at first was, I was like, am I a bat? Am I a raccoon? Who knows? And I think I went with bat because I liked, like, the ears. Chris taking the Sona in the divorce? No, like, I took a majority of what the Sona looked like. He just kind of took, like, kind of the concept to go use. And I went, okay. No, Chris is a great guy. But I'm very excited to when I can get the Sona actually working. But we shall see. It probably won't be until, I'm guessing, closer to August when it'll be done. I was kind of hoping it was going to be done at the beginning of this year, but, you know, things happen, right? I'm not in too much of a rush for it, but it would be cool to have it. I need to get Resident Evil Outbreak to work on my computer, because I really want to play that with people. That'd be really fun to get a handful of people off the round table server to play. I think that'd be fun. I'm gonna be terrible at it because I haven't played it since the PS2, but I gotta figure out how to get it to work. You know what's scary about this? So this right here is, if anybody remembers, Sierras is not actually a planet. It's a freaking asteroid, if I remember correctly. I always get, like, mixed up on, like, asteroid and, like, comet. Let me see real quick. I believe asteroid is the right one. Yeah. So they're on an asteroid. So it's gonna have, like, holes and, like, collapsing sections and, like, tunnels and, like, hollow parts. So, like, you've fallen into that, like, crater in there. Like, not a good idea. Not that anybody has to fall into it, but, you know. Sierra Wassa has mole people. They are the mole people, and they're called the Liu brothers. Their mother's lovely, though. Yeah, Era's great. I have a writing meeting this week. I think we're starting chapter 2 this week. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, Era doesn't deserve the heartache. Nope, not at all. Let's see. Manjax, why can't you have your characters be happy? I say as I emotionally torment Victor. I'm like, didn't we just have this conversation, but we like flipped it and reversed it earlier on Discord? Pax, be nicer to your characters, angry and then golden lol. Uh-huh. I'm just smiling. So, like, I can't be doing anything bad if I'm smiling, right? Okay, so I want to finish this panel before I end the stream today. Just to say we got the first panel done, right? It's one of those I probably could have gotten it done sooner, but I liked talking to you guys. We had very interesting prompts today. Sorry, I'm like honed in trying to make sure I get all these little details out. Let's see. So I got lice, my god. Victor won't be sad for long. He'll talk about his feelings soon. A knife like trauma dumping on a 14-year-old. Yeah, that's healthy. Oh my god. Six says, you said you got too distracted. Yeah, I did. Because I was enjoying talking to you guys. And then I would just sit there and like talking like I am right now, not drawing. When I have all these trash bags and windows to do. I think I just thought of the next Halloween art that I say I'm not gonna do, and then I'll do it. And it was an earlier conversation that we had today, but it's just still like... No, these are trash bags. This is Psy. See? Look, everybody, it's Psy. See? Look! It's everybody's favorite character. It's Psy. Wow. Oh my god, Mukta's here too. Wow. Wow! Guys, look, the favorite characters are here. I think I'm funny. I'm also tired. I'm not funny. I'm not funny. This is where I lose all my followers. Big Reg, Lynn, Ren, Mukta sometimes. Vasai has one of Mukta that he uses on his dartboard with his knife. Few ex-girlfriends of Sai's all have his picture on something to beat up. So like, yeah, no, that checks out. Oh. Oh no. It's... The music's over. I gotta find a new music. Yes, I'm still here. Hello. Music. Music. There we go. Brain. I'm doing great. My brain's totally not shutting off. Thank you, 44 games. Fluffy says, OMG, I just thought of Lynn and Rufus having a back and forth discussion of Link's twinkness. But you're not. We have the same body type. Yeah, no, we all joke that Lynn is the embodiment of Death of a Twink. Um, he still thinks he has the bod. I love it though. Lynn is very funny, but very, 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 very dangerous. And Rufus being so matter-of-factly about it, too. Thing is, I also, like, wonder if Rufus understands Twink. I feel like he does, but I also feel like he doesn't. Hello? No, not gonna do that one. No, I don't care about Lobster Fest. Ads! My god, you guys are getting all the ads now. Trivago was your ad? That's so funny. I think the ads are funny because, like, you guys will, like, tell me. I think my favorite was the first time we started getting ads, and it was Taco Bell, and everybody was, like, screaming about Taco Bell in my chat. Good times. All I care about is the Baja Blast. Oh, you guys. Killing me. Let's see. I got the Taco Bell ad. Golden wins. Are we gonna make it a game now? Is who gets the Taco Bell ad? I think my favorite thing from Taco Bell is the Mexican pizza without the chunky tomatoes on top. Fluffy, I don't want to dip because I'm sleepy. You should go get sleep. And Sook, I can't eat Taco Bell. It gave me food poisoning twice in a row. So, like, that's like a sign for me not to, right? But yeah, no, Flappy, if you are tired, go get some sleep. I mean, I'm gonna be done with this page shortly. And I don't want you being groggy for the next day, especially if you have work, right? No, I'm gonna drop like the most amazing spoiler ever. I'm not. Can I get away with it? The real question. Can I get away with it? No! I tried. It was worth a shot. But thought as if it doesn't invade my thoughts all the time. That's why it's called thought. Oh, and then Sai develops telekinesis. Who says he doesn't already have it? Though honestly, I think the worst power for Sai to have would be to be telepathic, because then he would be in your brain the whole time talking to you and annoying you. And your head would probably pop. I know mine would. That and his cool sword. I wouldn't be opposed if Mukta had telekinesis, because it's a him power. Yeah? And his cool sword. I guess he could make the sword, like, fly around, right? Oh boy, it's gonna be so much fun to color. I did this to myself. I wanted a neon dystopian world. I did this to myself. Okay, trash bags galore. Here we go. What is that? What all layers is that? I see you. There we go. And we can merge those. New layer. For all the little trash bags. Let's see. Golden says the Fun Victoria or Night Shine will hit Sai across the room if he reads her mind. That would be really funny. The thoughts appear. Mukta, no, throws them out with his mind. Just no. I mean, I would too. Because something's gonna catch on fire. And it's most likely Rufus's fault. Isaac eating Sai's hair mukbang coming soon. Oh god. Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. So the bathroom talk got you while you were eating, but you're over here like, it's okay for eating hair. Alright. Isaac's favorite flavor. Blech. Hair is different. Not when you're eating it. Still gross. I just remembered that Victor has electricity powers, so he's just messing up electronics or zapping people accidentally. Like a Flaffy. He's an electric sheep. That's awesome, though. Does Rufus make everything on fire like Spencer on iCarly? Kinda. He very much has that accident-prone thing, and things just happen to catch on fire because of him. For instance, he burned down the fire department on his home planet. And in fact, he is keeping the fire department in business on this utopian planet. But it doesn't help that the fire department, his ex-girlfriend's dad is like the fire chief. Vanessa's dad is the fire chief. And he already doesn't like Rufus, so. But yeah, no, Rufus does not mean to, but things just happen. I mean, he caught Santa on fire again. Shut up, he got it from his mom. That boy is all effed up. My god. What was that one thing? God. Right. So, okay. So question. If Yoko dreams about Victor, does that mean androids dream of electric sheep? I'll wait for my applause. I'm so glad the tomatoes are still broken because I forgot to fix them, but thanks God. Oh, I forgot to give a random fact to Sook. I'm so sorry, Sook. Oh God, random fact. Get out. Oh my God. So funny. Man, I should have seen the random fact with Sook. I'm so sorry, Sook. Let's see, I'm trying to like rack my brain. What was... I'm trying to think of a fact, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you already have like the facts that are in my head. But dumb fact that everyone here probably already knows is pineapples are the only fruit that is actually trying to eat you while you eat it. Yeah, there you are. You got the Jack's facts. But yeah, pineapple is the only fruit that is trying to eat you while you eat it. That is my fact. You probably already know that one. Let's see if I can think of a better one. I can think of a better one. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, I'm like racking my brain. Like, what was that one? God, I cannot, like, it's being put on the spot. Oh, right. So there was a story. That's why it gets spicier the more I eat. Yeah, for pineapples, it's because it has an enzyme in it. And that enzyme is digesting you as you are digesting it. So that's why you don't want to eat a lot of pineapple, but I do eat pineapple. I like pineapple. Another random fact, there was a chicken that had its head cut off and it lived up to 18 months. Morbid facts with Jax. Flaff says, man, Reg's bosom's just out in front and center on screensaver. Whatever. They don't look nice. They all look nice. Okay. Let's put, like, more trash. And then I'll add a fire effect on top of it. This is a crack. Gotta move Lil all the way up here. Cool. So first panel is done. Yippee! Well, kinda. I gotta like erase those lines. Ipsa daisy. Okay, cool. So the first panel is done. We'll just keep picking away at this page as we go. But yeah, no, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. This is probably the more detailed page, so hopefully the other parts will go a little bit faster. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thank you, Suk, for redeeming points and getting like little funny things. Thanks for asking me about horror movies and talking to me about, you know, OCs and all this stuff. You guys are always great at, you know, generally keeping me going and, you know, working on stuff that I may not always want to work on, right? So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I will see you on Sunday. Unless the migraine gets me again. I'm knocking on wood. Alright, guys. Have a good night. Bye.